10 title on the line. The automatic bid to a BCS bowl game will be earned by one of these two teams today. It'll likely be a trip to the Rose Bowl for the winner, but definitely a trip to a BCS bowl game for whichever team emerges victorious. 15 minutes to go, regulation time, tied at 10. First and 10, Ohio State. And Herron never could find running room. On first and 10 from the 31, he lost a couple. And we take a look at the Pacific Life game summary. Quarterback comparison. The spotlight entering the game was on James Vandenberg, the redshirt freshman, making his first career start. But Terrelle Pryor is just a little bit older than James Vandenberg. You tend to lose sight of that because it seems like he's been around forever, dating back to high school when he was the top recruit in the country.
And Terrelle Pryor, you can see he's got, especially last week, he had a great game. This week he's doing the same thing. He's under control, no turnovers.
Pryor throws it short. Ballard, the tight end, trying to escape and could not. It's a 3-yard gain. They're such good tacklers, as they have been for many years at Iowa. That was A.J. Eads taking down a big guy. Ballard at 6'6", 256 pounds.
Here's the difference in the game tonight, Sean, right now. The difference is the defense of Iowa has kept everything in front of them. And Iowa offensively with Vandenberg has pushed the ball down the field a few times and got some chunks.
Of course, they're in long field goal range, but bear in mind it's their backup kicker for Ohio State, Barclay, who's been the starting kicker now for just 2 games. Pryor has a big gap, makes a great move, has a first down and much more. Down the 11-yard line. Tyler Sash chopped him down, but it's 19 yards for Terrelle Pryor, a first down for the Buckeyes.
Really done right there on the by Cordell and Boren, 65. They just throw him up the field and allows him to get down. Here's the first level. There's the second level. He just fakes out anger and picks up even more yardage.
One of the best tacklers in Iowa history there. Most guys would struggle against Pryor in space. It's Herron back in the Wildcat. He turns the corner inside the 5. Touchdown!
As you hear the boom cheer coming, and that was pure boom speed to the top side, a healthy ankle, and 6 quick.
And Boom Herron, the sophomore from Warren, Ohio, has given the Buckeyes the lead, and now a big extra point for the new kicker, Barclay. It's a 7-point lead. Sean McDonough, Matt Millen, Holly Rowe back in Columbus, Ohio. Boom Herron, the touchdown of 11 yards, capping the 79-yard scoring drive. Terrelle Pryor was 4 for 4 passing on that drive, and also the key 19-yard run on 3rd down and 10 from the 30-yard line. Good kick by Barclay. And Darrell Johnson-Culianos takes it in the end zone. Here's a look again at the go-ahead touchdown.
So how do you answer it? You give it to Boom Herron. And first, you use speed. Nice by Boren right there. And then there's one right there. There's a nice job here of a straight arm. And look at the block by Sanzabaka. And then it's speed to the edge and another stiff arm on Greenwood and sprint to the end zone. Well executed, but a great job of speed and strength out of Boom Herron.
Up to 76 yards rushing. They've had only one 100-yard rusher all season. That was Brandon Sane. They went for 113 in their win at Indiana. So now Vandenberg out throwing. And a short gain. Forward progress across the 24 for Marvin McNutt, tackled by Austin Spiller. Holly?
Well, Ohio State's offense just answered, but before that, the Ohio State defense was sitting on the sideline kind of stunned after that touchdown they gave up to Iowa. In fact, their coordinator, Luke Fickell, co-defensive coordinator, said, guys, we're not going to change what we're doing, but you've got to get there. We're doing everything right. You're just not getting there. His great tackle, Cameron Heyward, said, Coach, it's my fault. I'll do a better job. They've got to get more pressure on this quarterback.
They're battling a stout and experienced offensive line today. 4 of those 5 O-line starters have at least 22 career starts, and they pave the way for Adam Robinson. He's out to the 49-yard line, finally taken down by Kurt Coleman. 24-yard run, first down Hawkeyes.
Watch what they do right here. And it's Reef. And he's the redshirt freshman on Cameron Heyward, and he just blocked him all over the field. Watch this. Very well done. Heyward gets up the field, but he still stays on him and gets his hips kicked. Beluga on the outside, another good job. Kid's playing a heck of a game in there right now, this Reef kid.
And he's the only one who hasn't had at least 22 career starts. Today is his 9th. Freshman out of South Dakota. Vandenberg with a corner blitz coming. High throw, incomplete. Off the hands of Marvin McNutt.
That time they got a little bit of pressure back inside, and it came over Reef. This time they were able to get to the edge of him. But it looks like right now at Vandenberg, I mean, he's a cucumber back there. He's as cool as can be. This is an impressive way to start your career.
They don't think Ricky Stanzi could make it back for the game next week at home against Minnesota to close out the regular season. They do think he'd be available to play in a bowl game. But you wonder if they would go back to Stanzi with the way Vandenberg has played today. Flag before the play was completed.
Ball start, 63. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Julian Vandervelde, the junior guard. Great student, 3.5 GPA, ESPN, the magazine district academic All-American, studying English and religious studies.
And a tough guy, too. And all that whole offensive line is a tough group.
Second and 15. Hawkeyes back at their own 44. 4-man rush. Again, Vandenberg well protected. Short throw and short of the target. Colin Sandeman. Not as big a shock this time. Vandenberg throws, and it is intercepted. Ross Holman inside the 30 and finally upended at the 24.
He was trying to throw it over the top of Holman, and he wasn't able to get there. Holman did a great job. Watch the depth he gets. Number 51 right here in the middle. Watch the depth he gets in his drop. Vandenberg has time. He's looking up here to the top side. Thinks he can get
the interception.
No go.
There's an illegal block in the back. Number 43 of the defense during the return. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
And that could be a big flag because Ohio State was already in field goal range after that return by Holman. But the blocking foul take them back to midfield.
You know, Sean, I couldn't tell if he was trying to throw to the underneath receiver and overthrew it, or if he was trying to hit the guy behind him.
I think that's what it was.
I couldn't really tell, but Holman played it perfectly.
And it looked like Sandeman for a moment was open deeper, but the throw was too short. And Holman has his 4th interception of the year. He's the team leader. Had one last week at Penn State as well. I formation. And it's Sane breaking free. All the way. Touchdown with a great block from Zach Boren.
On the front end, you call it. Great block by Zach Boren. And on the back end, Zanzenbacher again with a great block to be able to escort him into the end zone.
Officially a 49-yard touchdown run by Sane. Barclay the extra point. 2 touchdowns in a span of a minute and 52 seconds. And they're starting to smell the roses in Columbus.
Numbers there through the years, Sean. Right there, that one. That's my favorite of all time. My favorite Ohio State player and favorite Raider of all time. Jack Tatum, who should be in the Hall of Fame.
Look at how the uniform has changed over the years. They're going to wear throwback uniforms in Ann Arbor next week against Michigan. Kevin Barkley's kick down to Terrelle Johnson-Koulianos. He escapes. Makes another good move, and he's off to the races. He will score! Terrelle Johnson-Koulianos, touchdown, and Iowa is right back in it.
How do you answer a big play? Easy, with another big play. Just a little bit of a juggle on the front end of it, and Sean, he got a lane to the outside, and it was over. Kirk Ferentz said he wanted the game to be close in the fourth quarter. Thought it was slipping away with a 14-point game, and now we're right back into the middle of a big one.
Terrelle Johnson-Koulianos returns the kickoff 99 for a touchdown. Iowa started the day 84th in the country in kickoff returns.
So they had to improve.
They were due. Averaging 20.6 per return. Murray adds the extra point. And the blizzard of scoring continues. 2 touchdowns in a minute 52 for Ohio State. Koulianos, the response.
There it is right there. He just outruns that one. Just a reach and then a cut back inside, and then he had a host of blockers on the right side. It starts out like it's not going to be good, but I want you to watch right there, runs through the tackle, and then he picks up his posse and away they go. Nice cut back inside. It doesn't get any better than that. And you can see Claiborne sitting on the sideline and Robinson jumping up and down like a good freshman should. See the old vet sitting over there going, oh man, I gotta get right back out here, I'm tired. Robinson jumping up and down. And Koulianos, that it doesn't get any better than that.
Terrelle Johnson-Koulianos, another one of those Ohio natives, one of 13. He's from Campbell, Ohio, on this Iowa squad. First career kickoff return for a touchdown. 7-point game. Murray kicks off. Out of bounds.
That was awful.
Well, drive Kirk Ferentz crazy. He's already missed a chip shot field goal that hasn't endeared him to Hawkeyes everywhere. Tressel says we'll take the ball at the 40-yard line, please. At least that seems to be what he's gesturing.
I'd take it. That's an easy one. And now it goes back into your defense if you're Iowa and your offensive line from Ohio State.
2 fouls on the play. Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team. Ball's placed at the 40-yard line. After the play was over, we have a dead ball, personal foul. 46 on the defense. Contact to the head, 15 yards, first down.
My goodness. From awful to even that much worse, Christian Ballard called for the personal foul. And that'll put the ball at the Iowa 45-yard line.
Christian Ballard, I'm surprised. He's running down on kickoffs. He's the defensive lineman right in the middle of it.
They announced 46, and he's the only 46 on their roster.
Yeah. Take a peek, see if we can find it.
A couple of big breaks for Ohio State, knocked on their heels for a moment by the kickoff return by Terrelle Johnson-Koulianos. Boom Herron gets nothing. Jeff Tarpinian, a backup linebacker, made the stop.
Now, I've talked about it a lot, but you're seeing on both sides of the ball, you're seeing very good defensive discipline. And when you lose the discipline, that's when the big plays have come. Speed one time with Herron on the one side, then the long run the other side. Claiborne jumped on the inside, and he took it outside. But for the most part, pretty well played on both sides.
powers down to the 37-yard line. 2 yards short of the first down. Sean Prater made the tackle for Iowa, and the clock's going to run under 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. In this battle for the Big Ten title, the winner is guaranteed at least a share of the Big Ten Conference Championship, and the winner of this one will definitely get the automatic berth out of the Big Ten into the BCS Bowl.
It's a big play right here.
And it's Herron with the first down and more. Here in Columbus, Jim Tressel's team is over 200 yards rushing for the fourth game in a row. They'll lose a couple on that carry. Herron wrapped up by Carl Klug for a 2-yard loss.
Well, they found a soft spot that they like, that Ohio State offensive line. And it's on the right side. Brewster, the center. And you got Browning over there. And Marcus Hall's over there. Shugart, 76, is in there. Cordell. I mean, they're coming off the ball really well. Now, that time, Klug, they come in a stunt and got in on the backside.
213 yards rushing now for Ohio State. Sainz over 100 with 103. His second 100-yard game of the season. And it's both 100-yard games by a running back. Pryor's gone over 100 yards rushing twice this year for Ohio State. Herron got it back to the 27. And that's, by the way, just the second 100-yard rusher allowed this year by Iowa's defense. The only other to get 100 on the ground, Alexander Robinson of Iowa State, in a one-sided win for the Hawkeyes in that rivalry game.
So it sets up 3rd and 8. And so they tried the right side again. Last time they just tried to pull power inside. And now you get 3rd and 8. And again, this goes back to that 3rd down. Win 3rd down. Whoever wins 3rd down wins the game.
Barkley might be called upon for the biggest field goal attempt of his brief career. Nothing doing there. Claiborne again, the man in the right spot for Iowa to drive Herron back. They'll give him forward progress to the 30. And this is an interesting call now for Jim Tressel, because it'll be a 47-yard field goal. He passed on an attempt of this exact same distance last week at Penn State. We asked him about that. He said the field was a little bit mushy. The plant foot's very important. It's a different situation on our field. So here is the former professional soccer player Barclay to try a 47-yarder.
Who on this surface gets great footing with his plant foot. And that's the foot right before the kick when it sets down.
Big kick to make it a 2-score game. He hooked it, and it is no good.
Thank you very much if you're from Iowa.
They've survived a lot of punches today on that Iowa sideline. They're still only down by 7.
We broke up.
We broke up. We broke up.
With online dating.
Big stop by that Iowa defense after the kickoff out of bounds and a penalty. They forced a long field goal try, and it was missed by Devin Barclay. Still a 1-score game. 7:11 to go. The freshman James Vandenberg's been excellent in his first career start. Deep handoff, and Adam Robinson falls down for a 2-yard loss back at the 28-yard line.
Tackled by himself. In the second half here, Sean, they found McNutt outside. Vandenberg, he's liked him. He's gone to him a few times. He's made some big chunk plays down the field. They're going to need that here.
Mentioned he's had the long touchdowns against Indiana.
Ooh, he's got something if he can get it.
And Northwestern. And he had the game-winning touchdown in the final seconds at Michigan State. Trying to set up a screen to the near side. They do. Tony Moyaki, the tight end. Out to the 36, just across the 35. Holly?
Well, guys, just after Ohio State had scored their last touchdown, Kirk Ferentz, normally a pretty calm, quiet guy, came, was pretty fired up, got in the face of his defense, got in the face of his kickoff return unit, and said, guys, this is far from over. Let's get ready to roll right now. Keep in mind, they've come from behind in 8 of 9 of their wins this year. This is a position they're used to, and it's a very quiet, business-like Iowa attitude on the sidelines right now. Been there, done that. Now can they just score?
3rd down, a short 5, about 4.5 to go. Under 6 minutes to go, a 1-score game. Flag down. Vandenberg intercepted. And it's going to be run back by Thaddeus Gibson for a score. There is a flag down at the line of scrimmage on the near sideline. And it might be for an offside call against Ohio State. They are glum and not jumping up and down, and that flag was thrown right in front of the Buckeye sideline.
You know, Sean, that's exactly what it's going to be.
Offsides, number 43, defense, 5-yard penalty.
They're going to watch Williams 43 right there on the left side right here. You take a good look. He jumps and it's clear. He crosses the line. The ball is snapped. It's a good call.
Remains third down.
Well, that should not be third down. It was third down about 4.5. They announced it should be third down, but it should be a first down by about a half a yard. And now the referee, Todd Gearlings, is going over to talk to the official who mans the chains on the far side. I think he's going to correct himself.
The play results in a first down. The ball was beyond the 5-yard mark on the chain.
He obviously was listening to, hey, good job. He probably was listening, you know, to you. So
I strongly doubt it. Yeah. It's been a well officiated game.
It has
and
been. Thankfully,
with no big replay controversies, which seem to erupt week after week now in college football, including last night in Cincinnati. 5:40 to go. The winner gets at least a share of the Big Ten title and gets the automatic bid into a BCS bowl game, the first that'll be handed out this year. Colin Sandeman, a good spin move and a first down into Buckeye territory at the 46-yard line, pushed out by Devon Torrance, 13 yards for Iowa.
Knows the coverage, knows where to go. Look, keeps the safety in the middle. Now eyes back outside. Watch the spin. Picks up a first down. This kid, this quarterback. Man, Sean, this kid looks like a fifth-year senior.
We haven't really seen Trey Strauss since those early drops. Sandeman about 5th on the wide receiver depth chart and coming back from a concussion today. Seeing some action. Vandenberg flutters one, and it is caught on the ricochet by Moyaki. Well, Vandenberg's been good, but you have to be lucky sometimes too, and he was there. Roll can't believe it. Chimdi Chekwa knocked it up in the air and looked like it was going to be a pickoff for the stunned Buckeyes. 16-yard gain.
This is not a good throw, ladies and gentlemen. He throws it into coverage. Watch this. Should have been a pick by Chekwa. Bounces up, and then Moyaki comes down. Great concentration, however. Just stays with the play and picks up the first.
Chekwa and roll both there, but it was Moyaki. First and 10. And Robinson got smacked by Ross Holman. Jim Haycock, the defensive coordinator, told us Holman doesn't say much, but he does plenty of speaking with his play on the field. When he hits you, you know it.
Oh, he does. There's a bunch of guys over there who'll smack you. And this guy Robinson, though, you got to really like him. I mean, yeah, he's been banged up. And you look at Jim Haycock, the defensive coordinator, and he told us. You know, he told us about Robinson. He told us about this offensive line. He didn't know about the quarterback. He didn't know what to expect. Well, what he got was more than he expected.
Very quietly, Robinson's piled up 77 yards rushing on 17 carries. Vandenberg the slant. McNutt has it. McNutt finally taken down inside the 14-yard line. First and 10 Iowa, looking for a tying touchdown, and we're under 4 minutes to go with the Big Ten title and a BCS berth on the line.
Oh, look at that. Is so well done for a young freshman. You see how the pressure was coming into his face, which he knows then he has no underneath coverage. He waits for the slant, and then it's a mixed strike to McNutt. I can't help it. I got mix on my head here now. Sorry about that, people.
But all right.
I won't let it happen again.
James Vandenberg, his dad was a quarterback. His grandfather a quarterback. They spent a lot of time tutoring him, and it has paid off. Robinson down to the 10. I mean, this is his first start, but he might not ever play in a bigger game in college. In the horseshoe, last game of the home season for Ohio State. Senior day. They're only playing for the Big Ten title and a trip to the Rose Bowl.
Well, Keokuk, Iowa has all of about 11,400 people up there. That's about it. Tickets as they got in the center of the stadium. So he's playing in about maybe, see that section right down there? There's Keokuk right there. And that's the rest of the country all around him. That's the Buckeye Nation.
Time running down now. Here's Vandenberg, one-on-one coverage, and a great catch by defender, Chekwa, to snatch it. And they're an extra point away from a tie.
What a great back shoulder throw by Vandenberg. Watch this. McNutt, get to the top side, throw it back. McNutt goes over the top and plucks it. Boy, Chimdi Chekwa, this is good coverage. You got to get your head turned around. He didn't do it. McNutt did. Well thrown. 6 points. We got a game.
Huge extra point. Murray's been shaky. The missed short field goal and the kickoff out of bounds, and he drives that one through. 8 plays, 70 yards. The touchdown drive for Iowa to tie it. Oh yeah, Vandenberg, the freshman, he'll shrink under the pressure, right? He was 5 for 5 on the drive for 61 yards, but of course that offside play nullified the interception return for a touchdown. Murray kicks off. Tie game, 2:42 to go. Small. Ray Small. Stopped short of the 18-yard line by Tyler Nielsen. James Vandenberg, the pride of Keokuk, Iowa, southeast of Des Moines along the Mississippi River. And from moment one today, Matt, he came out on target, 7 for 7, then played by some drops, but it didn't rattle him. He kept throwing strikes, and they started to help him with some terrific catches.
Yeah, and we talked about he came out in the third quarter and found McNutt, and he's not stopped. He's gone to him the whole time.
This is not an offense really built for the 2-minute drill. But this guy can explode on any play. Pryor goes out of bounds. 9-yard gain. Good play to start this possession for Ohio State, in possession of all 3 of its timeouts and 2.5 minutes to go, needing a field goal in all likelihood to earn their 5th straight Big Ten title and a trip to the Rose Bowl. They haven't been to the Rose Bowl since after the 1996 season. They could have gone on 3 occasions since, but they went to play in a national championship game instead. That was way back in the 97 Rose Bowl when they beat Take the Snake in Arizona State. Adrian Claiborne tackles Boom Herron, but it's a first down. Aaron Petrie, their outstanding senior kicker, knee surgery 2 weeks ago. So it could come down to the foot of the former professional soccer player Devin Barkley.
He's already missed one from 47. But here's the deal. Okay, so you take the game right up to this point. You're under 2 minutes. It's a tie game. Doesn't matter how you played up to this point. If you're going to be a great defense, you be a great defense now. And if you're going to be a great offense, you be a great offense now. The same with being a great player.
They're going to try to use Pryor's athleticism for the big play. He got 1 yard, and then A.J. Eads ran him out. It was interesting, Matt. They weren't in any big hurry. I mean, there is a lot of time, particularly if you're just playing to get into field goal range. But they were rather nonchalant with that play clock running and the game clock running prior to that last snap.
I'll tell you who wasn't nonchalant. Eads right there. That was really well done. We talked about Terrelle Pryor being able to outrun angles. Not that one. He got on his horse. He took the great angle, higher than expected, but he was able to knock him out of bounds.
You and I have talked about perhaps the thought that Pryor might run more design plays with him running in mind. But Jim Tressel doesn't want to get him beat up. He's been whacked around all year, has a lot of nagging little injuries. Has an open receiver, Small. He did not get to the sideline. He tried valiantly, but fell down short of it. Sean Prater credited with the stop, and again, they're not moving very briskly.
No, and a great stop. Sean, that is really hard to do what he just did there. Sean Prater in the open field one-on-one, given a two-way go by the receiver, and he gets him on the ground. And the most important thing when tackling is getting him down. He did it.
Well, the crowd's booing, but I think Jim Tressel's thought process here, Matt, is there's plenty of time with 1:09 and now 2 timeouts left to get into the position you need to get in to win the game. What he doesn't want to do is get stopped here on 3rd and 5 after punt and give Iowa a chance to win it with plenty of time.
Or to do something in terms of forcing something down the field, which Terrelle Pryor has not done the last 2 games in terms of turnovers. They haven't had any turnovers, and you don't want to take a shot just for the sake of taking a shot.
Tie game, 1:09 to go. Barkley preparing for what could be his moment. 3rd down and 5. Pryor.
Safe throw.
Very safe throw in the flat, and it's not going to get a first down. It's a loss for Herron in the arms of Amari Spivey, and now Kirk Ferentz will use his first timeout with 59 seconds to go.
That is well done by the Iowa defense. Remember we said when you're a great defense, now is the time. They just showed up. And Ferentz does a great job of using the clock to his advantage. You'll get the punt and see what you can do. And this guy, this young freshman quarterback from Keokuk, Iowa, who's, you know, and I noticed on that map, he left his light on. Make a big throw. He's capable of doing it.
If your computer's running slow.
Holland Sandeman, just coming back from a concussion, has been making fair catches on short punts from John Toma. His last punt was only 31 yards. And this one's not very deep, so short that Sandeman wasn't in position to field it. It took a bad bounce for Ohio State sideways and out of bounds at the 32. Here's Holly.
Well, guys, James Vandenberg has been so steady all night, but after that last touchdown play, he was here on the sidelines talking to his coaches, and he kept belaboring a point of something he did wrong on the touchdown drive. Finally, Coach Eric Campbell, their wide receiver coach, said, look, you're doing okay. Let's move forward. Get on to the next play, because he'll have a few big plays left in this game.
And so, Holly, like we just said about the Iowa defense, now it falls on the Ohio State defense and also back on Vandenberg. All the work you've done and your body of work to date means nothing if you don't capitalize now.
They come out conservatively. Well, it's two fine defenses, and the key on offense has been to avoid the big mistake, and that's the way both sides are playing it here in the last possession of regulation for each. I think Kirk Ferentz says, I'd rather take my chances in overtime than make a colossal mistake here and kick the game away in the final minute. And then both coaches will be asked about relatively conservative approaches here at the end of regulation after the game, but it is characteristic of each.
He's letting the clock go down. It's 10 seconds left on the play clock.
They're going to decide the Big Ten title and the BCS berth in overtime.
They like their kicker better than they think Ohio State's kicker can do it. That would surprise me a little bit.
5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Should be 1 second on the clock. We're taking that time off the clock. Remember, they said they were keeping it upstairs. So you want to be a kicker at the high level. Don't worry about it. Not much is on your shoulders. Just the Big Ten title and a Rose Bowl berth, where you won't see USC this year.
So we want to get into the 4th quarter with a chance to win. That's been the formula all year. They take a knee. They'll try to win in overtime. And 8 of their 9 wins, they came from behind. Do they have one more comeback in them? They rallied back from 2 scores down to get even in this one. That kickoff return for a touchdown by Johnson Koulianos was enormous. Overtime when we come back. Heading for overtime to determine the Big Ten champion and the automatic bid into a BCS bowl game. Let's listen into the coin toss.
All right, as we go to overtime, your choices will be offense, defense, or the end of the field. Here's my coin. This is my head, tail, head. Each team receives 1 timeout per overtime period. We'll have 2 series on that end of the field once we decide. Call.
Heads.
Heads is called. Tails.
Defense. Defense.
Okay. Ohio State chooses defense. We'll play at that end of the field. Ohio State over here. Iowa here.
And that is the typical choice when winning the toss in overtime. You want to go on defense first. because in college football, the overtime rules are that each team is guaranteed one possession. They'll start the possessions from the 25-yard line. So if you go on defense first and the other team scores a touchdown, for example, you know when you get the ball for your possession that you need to score a touchdown as well. You know what you need to do. There is no game clock, just the play clock. And if we get to a third overtime and the team scored a touchdown, they must go for two. That was put in a few years ago to try to avoid the game going on and on and on and adding to the risk of injuries to the players. Aerial coverage of this classic provided by Goodyear. New Goodyear Fuel Max tires help you get there on less gas.
We have gotten spectacular pictures from the blimp. It doesn't get any better than that in terms of pictures, in terms of setting, and right here in terms of game.
It's been a while since either team's gone to overtime. They've both had a good history in overtime. Iowa's last extra session game was in 2007. They beat Michigan State. Ohio State back in 2004 lost at Northwestern. Vandenberg, a deep rollout by design, lofts it and threw it away.
And good coverage down there by Ohio State. Now, one of the things you remember in this period, starting at the 25-yard line, so everything's shrunk a little bit. It's the red zone basic area. And so angles change, the throws change, the reads a little bit, but there are more defenders in a shorter area.
It's basically red zone football, and
exactly.
That's why some people don't like it. It takes a lot of aspects out of the game. Adam Robinson, the back. Iowa has had a season on the edge. They've won 4 games by 3 points or less for the first time ever. Robinson's in trouble, and that's a huge loss. Spittler made the tackle back at the 31. From there, it's a 48-yard field goal, and that is exactly the career long for Daniel Murray.
And what it is great defensive scheme on that right side or left defensive side. I want you to watch this. Stay square. Come up, Phil. Stay keeping your outside leverage. Spittler just does a phenomenal job. Worthington on the inside, nowhere to cut back, and it sets up a big third down.
Spittler waited 3 years behind James Laurinaitis to get a chance to be a first-time starter as a senior. Play clock down to 4 for Vandenberg. Out of the shotgun. Running out of time! And he is sacked! And they're not in field goal range. Worthington, the senior captain, in his final home game with the biggest play of his career.
And there is the freshman mistake. You cannot take that sack. That just kills you. Now on 4th down, they have to try to go for a first down. But let's not undersell what Doug Worthington does. That is a fantastic play at a critical time.
Couple of senior captains on senior day. Spittler and Worthington with back-to-back huge plays. They need to get to the 15. 4th down at 26. Vandenberg heading toward the end zone, and it is intercepted by Anderson Russell, who wisely takes a knee. So now Ohio State will take over on the 25-yard line, needing only 3 points to win the game, the Big Ten and the BCS Bowl bid.
And Sean, that's exactly what we were talking about before we started this. Your body of work to the start of this overtime period as that young freshman quarterback was absolutely sparkling. And right there, Cinderella just turned into a pumpkin.
You think back to Kirk Ferentz with time and timeouts and decent field position across his own 30. He's a disciple of Bill Belichick. He coached for Bill in the NFL with the Browns and Ravens. And you think about Bill Belichick in that Super Bowl with the young rookie quarterback Tom Brady, the big underdog at the end of regulation in a tie game. Some said sit on it, play for overtime. Brady and Belichick went for it, won the Super Bowl. Iowa had a similar circumstance with a new quarterback, positioned to win and pull off a huge upset, did not take the chance. Herron slips down. The offense is in reverse in the overtime. Ballard will get credit for it. And bear in mind that Barclay is the new kicker for Ohio State. This is just his second full game as the starter. He took over in the middle of their game a couple of weeks ago against New Mexico State when Petrie injured his knee.
And don't forget he missed that one earlier in the game. And again, we're talking about defense. Ohio State defense, man, it stepped up big time. And on the first down, the Iowa defense steps up big time.
In a power run formation, and that's what they do with Herron. He's back to the 25, and that's it. And I don't think they're saying boom, his nickname this time. I think they're booing this very conservative approach.
Well, he's going to take a shot here with the kicker. And he's going to try to run it here one more time to get a little bit better position, because right now you're talking about a 42-yard field goal. Anything he gains, obviously, you knock that thing down. So they're going to put it right back on the shoulders of this kicker, and at the least, you just do it all over again.
And right now the ball is right in the middle of the field for Barkley, who as a teenager is one of the top soccer prospects in the United States. Timeout called by Ohio State. Matter of fact, he signed a professional contract with Tampa Bay at age 17, scored 3 goals as a rookie, was thought to be a future star in American soccer, but his career fizzled. He bounced around to 3 other teams, finished his career in 2005 as a bench warmer for the Columbus Crew, was released. The team chaplain for the Crew, Jim Schmidtke, asked him if he'd ever kicked the football. He said, no, not really. They went to a local school. He bombed kick after kick, got instruction from a couple of former Ohio State kickers, wanted to walk on somewhere, thought about a small school. He said, you know what? You got to go somewhere. You might as well go to Ohio State. The chaplain reached out to Coach Tressel, said, bring him in. We'll take a look at him. He walked on, and here he is at his 2nd year in the program, perhaps seconds away from trying one of the biggest kicks in school history.
That's a lot of stuff to hang on that kicker.
And they're going to put it on his foot.
Exactly right.
Herron to the 22. It'd be about a 39-yard attempt.
And what he's saying here is, look, we're okay. At the worst, if he does miss it, we just start all over again, and at least we have a chance. But now you're saying, all right, kid, let's hope all those talks with the chaplain helped.
For a share of the Big Ten title and a chance to win it outright next week, and a guaranteed spot in a BCS Bowl. From 39 yards, Barkley up and good!
Championship game should be all about.
Ohio State has won its 5th straight Big Ten title. They're almost certainly heading to the Rose Bowl for the first time since after the 1996 season. Here's Holly Rowe.
Well, Coach Tressel told me at halftime this would come down to the last play of the game, and you were right, Coach. What was going through your mind when Barkley, your brand new kicker, trotted out there to hit that?
I was sure hoping he was going to make it, but I was talking to the offense and telling them, if we miss this, we're back on, because it flips the other way in the second overtime. But I had a lot of confidence in him. But, you know, you're always thinking of play ahead.
Your defense was certainly terrific in that overtime period. How do you describe the play Doug Worthington made?
You know, those kids play hard. We have a special group of seniors, and a guy like Doug, 5 years in a row, Big Ten champs.
Coach, it wasn't that long ago this program was under some criticism for the loss to Purdue. How do you describe the way your team went from there to securing a part of the Big Ten championship?
We're just trying to get better, you know. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
And there were a smattering of boos, folks, but all Jim Tressel's done now is win 5 straight Big Ten titles. It's a win. You know, you might not always like the way they did it, but it's another win for Jim Tressel, who's won over 81% of his games at Ohio State. A valiant effort by Vandenberg and the Hawkeyes, as is their custom. And Barkley, who's overcome a lot in his young life, knew the moment he kicked it. And James Vandenberg will be crushed by the defeat. But he'll look back proudly at what he did today. He gave them a chance when very few thought they had a great shot today.
You know, Sean, Iowa fans are going to go sit back now and think about this game, and they're going to remember the drop touchdown pass at the start and then the missed field goal. Now, Ohio State also missed a field goal, but it comes back to the drop touchdown pass at the front end of the game. That really should have, could have, would have.
We'll also think back about that approach in the final minute when they had the ball in their hand, decent field position, timeouts, a chance to go for the win, decided not to. A great senior day for Doug Worthington and the Buckeyes. They win it. They win at least a share of the Big Ten, a chance to win it outright next week at Michigan. We'll have it for you on ABC.